What's up, Transformers family? Welcome back to another episode of George Reviews. Today on George Reviews, I'll be taking a look at Transformers Kingdom War for Cybertron Trilogy Deluxe Autobot tracks. So here he is in his packaging. He's in a little smaller window box packaging of the Kingdom series now. Some artwork for tracks in both vehicle mode and robot mode on the side of the box. Very nice, but standard stuff. Deluxe figure cover that. Here is the product shot on the back of tracks in all three modes. He actually has the flying car mode on the back right here. It says 21 steps. I'll probably make it 30. But here it is. Let's get tracks open and see what he has to offer. I think I messed up. I usually open them on the side, but open tracks from the top. But anyway, we're going to keep on going. Tracks out of the box. Instructions fell out. Comes with this instruction booklet thing and warning. Nothing further in the box. Right there. That is it. And all we have left to do is free tracks. He looks like he's made like the masterpiece. A lot of these guys are mini masterpieces with the design of the transformation. Yep. I miss one, or is he just like, why do this? Yeah. Alright, man. Does it take that many tie downs to keep him in the package? Here he is. Feels a little light. A little loose. Looks pretty good. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, there we go. Alright. Accessories. I said, don't tell me this guy comes with no accessory. He has the generic Generation 1 cartoon gun, and boy, they hollowed this little thing out. Did they really have to do that for this? And a little car gun thing right there. Okay, so let's take a closer look at tracks. Let's bring them forward so we can get them positioned correctly. Wings kind of like this, and I guess this whole piece, does it sit up just like this? Taking a peek at the box, and yes, it does sit up just like this. These little pieces don't let up, or do they? Yep, yes they do. Alright, I thought they were molded in. Alright, that's the vehicle mode. So anyway, let's stick with the robot mode. Let's take a look at his face first and foremost. Red face, blue eyes, Generation 1 cartoon accurate. White helmet over his head. His head is on a ball joint. Let's see if we can get it off and take a look. And the helmet appears to be white plastic and the face is painted red. He has a nice Autobot logo on his chest, just like the cartoon. The G1 is a rub sign. It has the yellow background and the red Autobot logo. Has some paint on his forearms. Looks pretty good. More red and yellow. You know, they're not splashing a whole lot of different colors around. The whole forearm is blue plastic with the gray painted over it. The hands are gray plastic. Look pretty good. Fold away for transformation. White paint on the waist right there. The legs are gray plastic here and then painted gray right here. Guess over some blue. Which why they just didn't continue the gray plastic, because you can clearly see it changes right here. Turn them around. Back of his legs are covered up pretty good. No hollowing to show. And like the feet have the exact same gap as the masterpiece. And he's wearing the back of the car completely on his back and the front windshield. Like, that's it right. That's the car. Boom. Transformed already. But anyway, that is a quick look around on tracks. Let's do his articulation. His head. I know that's a ball joint in there. But, because it's in this groove, I'm having trouble 360 in the head. Then it's hitting this peg back here. So it's a limited range of motion there. But anatomically, I believe that's all he needs for a humanoid type being. And as far as up and down, there's pretty much nothing. A little bit of up you can get out of it. Comes to his arm, 360s on that peg. The wing doesn't hinder it at all. Has that wing here. You can articulate the wing. He has a bicep swivel right here. an elbow bend right here. You can get that much out of it in the wrist. We checked that out. You can just only swing it in for the transformation. And that is it. Coming to his waist, he has a full 360, getting clearance out of the back of the car right there. The waist has this flat piece right here that moves up and down. You can get his leg to come this far to the front. They feel a little bit loose, not terribly bad, but a little bit loose. This far to the back, which is great. Really is. Get his knee bend that much and get his legs out to the side this much. A whole lot of articulation in these guys. Credit to Hasbro again. And he has the thigh swivel right there. Full 360 out of that. And I'm telling you, it just really feels loose. His foot goes back and forth and does it rock, and it has an ankle rocker in there. So he is fully articulated for what you would expect or want out of a figure of this stature and price range. Stands pretty well. I think I'm supposed to stick this on here now or no? Yeah. Let's try it. Put that right there on the back of him in his robot mode. And take his gun and put it in his hand. It's cool that they didn't paint the hand. They used plastic, so you ain't got to worry about scraping off. This is his black blaster he used on a cartoon many a day. And the most famous one was when he was fighting was it Starscream and Soundwave, when he flipped down the stairs and landed and came up shooting and that was a pretty cool moment for Trax. He was spotlighted a few times in the Generation 1 cartoon. A lot of guys just kind of got grouped together. But I think he had like 2 episodes specifically spotlighting him, where he was the star main character with very minimum appearances by Optimus Prime, where he was running around New York with Raoul. Like I said, they did a part 1 and a part 2, which is real cool. So here he is. He looks great. What type of poses can we get out of this guy? Should be a lot. Very dynamic. And like I said, when he fell down the stairs, and you really can't get his hands across his chest. It would have been cool if they put a butterfly in there so he can kind of get that. I mean, he can still kind of get that looking up when he fired up the stairs, back up the stairs, when the Decepticons had took over a nightclub for some nefarious reason. So that is pretty good. But yeah, he just seems a little loose and play with. I'm not going to like straight up play with this, but a kid playing with this, he is going to get loose over time. I can tell you that. I mean, they all do, but like this is going to go faster. One more look around with Trax. Yeah, it's just, it could be a little bit tighter on that hip joint. I'm pretty sure I could tighten it up. And there is the joints in there. I would have no problem tightening this up at all. Alright, I want to take Trax and put him next to his cartoon model and see how close the creators of this toy came to reproducing the cartoon look. As you can see, they came very, very close. It's mostly missing some paint apps to the wings and a few other places, but in robot mode, it is pretty much spot on to the 1980s cartoon. I almost forgot about the port and play, where you can take the weapons and store them in other places. He has a hole in his forearm, and it sort of kind of loosely fits in there. You can take this off his back and put it right here on top of his head. Actually, I think it looks better right there. Maybe it's supposed to go right there. It looks more G1 cartoon right there. You can take this, make it a double blaster, and you can put it on the sides. Probably would port better than this one. Right here, you know they have weapon storage for days. And you can actually put this gun right here. But I think this is more for his vehicle mode. And you can do all that. I'm trying to see. Oh, just pour down here. You can have him store it right here when he's walking around or something like that. Like that. Maybe upside down. You can stand up with it. Yep, yeah, he's a little flimsy. I think it's because of all the panels that make him transform or whatever. Speaking of transformation, let's see. All right, let's get Trax into his stunning auto mode. Remove the gun. Remove this little head gun piece right here. We're going to start with the arms because I know these fists collapse into there. Try to line these wings. I think this is what happens as well. Let's see. Because, I mean, it looks like the Masterpiece and looks like the G1. And you can kind of see everything hanging out. So I'm going to pop this panel open here. Pop this panel open here. The waist, I saw this hinge in here. It's like a double hinge. It pops open like that. We're going to take the front of the car, because this is like the whole front of the back of the car. The whole back of the car hanging off right here. Rotate this around. I don't know if I'm getting ahead of myself. And let's see, we flip this up right here. See if we can get this to turn into the hood. Collapse these down into the legs. Rotate. Got it collapsed right. Then collapse this one down. So we got the front of the car. I think it's swivel. Nope. Yeah, it stays this way. And we got to rotate the legs around. I got to get this out of the way. Bring the leg around to the top. The foot has to clear over the waist. And bring it up over the top like that. And same thing on this side. Bring it around. This has to stay collapsed. I'm jacking that up. And bring this around so the foot clears over the waist. Because it kind of funkily sits under the windshield. His feet are on the dashboard. Wait. Turn this over. Let's secure the bottom, the back, the underside of the car. Alright, and this kind of fits together like a puzzle piece. Turn this around. This goes up here. I got this correct. This chest, I think I did it, but actually, yeah, it's slot for robot mode. It slots out, but when you transform it, it goes in. It collapses down, and bring these arms down. Now this part right here, you got to kind of get these clips. There's a clip right here and there's a clip right here. You got to kind of get these in kind of ahead of time, or it's hell to put this thing together. I've seen the video. See if I can do it. My first try. Yeah, there we go. And then there's a peg right there and a port under here. And you see these two clips right there, and it kind of all goes together to hold the vehicle together. So we got that. That was like honestly the hardest part. Needing these things. Panels rotate the match. You see they only go one way, and of course I got them the wrong way. And they sort of snap, clip into place. Put the wings under there, and we have these sides. It's one little side's not tabbing. Come on, it's always something, man. Always. Alright, I mean, I could have it wrong, you know. It pays to use instructions, but I don't. So here is Trax in his gorgeous looking cartoon accurate vehicle mode. And the only bummer about it being cartoon accurate, on the cartoon they didn't use the yellow and the red for the flames. The cartoon was just lazy and was like, here you go, here's the red flame. But here he is. Get him down, see how well he rolls. Yeah, and he looks great. Really does. Looks so much like the cartoon. It is incredible what they did right here. Alright, before I start popping things on the tracks, I just want to bring out the Generation 1. Check these guys out side by side. Early 1980 to 82 Corvette C3 body style. Obviously, a more cartoon-inspired version, a more authentic car-inspired version right here. And you can see what I'm talking about with the flame on the hood. And for the repaint roll rage, they chose to go with the more flame accurate of like the Generation 1. And here he's more cartoon accurate because the cartoon animators was lazy and didn't want to draw two colors all the time. And since we're getting the red Target exclusive repaint, I wonder if they give us the rare Diaclone black version as well somewhere down the line. But that's how these two guys stack up, and let's take a look. Pretty similar in size. Obviously this one is more bulkier and has a little bit more detail, being that this one is like cartoon washed out. And now I want to bring out the Masterpiece version of Trax, and boy, I am so happy we got this figure before they went all totally cartoon accurate. I think Masterpiece figures were so much better when they were a hybrid between the cartoon and the vintage toy. Now they're just all cartoon. Like this figure is all cartoon. It looks cool, but you can just see it kind of looks cartoon bubbly, like it's just bubbled up. It sort of kind of look like the car, but not actually take on the look of the car like these guys. Don't get me wrong, I like it. It's cool. You know what I'm saying? If I need a straight up vintage looking one, I have the vintage ones. I had a masterpiece, but man, I'm glad this guy came out. Before that, I actually liked Track's character a lot. And this masterpiece version is actually one of the most underrated masterpieces there is out there. Excellent figure in all three modes actually. And yeah, here is the comparison of all three of my tracks side by side by side. And speaking of all three modes, I'm going to get them into the next mode and come right back. Alright, let's get Tracks into his flying car mode, which is the butt of a lot of jokes. It takes a lot of heat sometimes, but I think it's cool. A lot of people say it's just a go-between mode, but it is not. It's an official mode, third transformation mode, flying car. Flip the little wings up like this, and for some reason, like I say, it's like actually controversial with some people, and a lot of people really don't like it. It's like, what's not to like so bad? You know, just either you like it or don't. You don't have to do it. But it was meant to be there in the G1, before the G1, the Diaclone and the cartoon kept it and used it on a few episodes, a few times, which I thought was very cool. A flying car is awesome to me. But when I'm talking, you can see what I'm doing. Flipping the wings around. These out. I don't think they tab in at all to the sides. They just sit on the side of the vehicle like this. And we take this part right here, extra booster rocket pack thing. Yep, definitely took a peek at the box, and it is on there. Even on the box, they add the gun right here. I think you have to add the gun. I don't think on the cartoon he ever had the gun added right there, but you can do that. But I'm going to take it off now that I've shown you. You can do that. It's a shame we don't get a stand for this guy, kind of get him levitating in the air. Yeah, he really looks good in this mode, unless you turn it over and kind of, all the hollowness is hanging out. But I guess you can grab it or maybe put it on a flight stand like this. It looks good. When I first heard about this figure and they were going to make it like almost like 8 months ago or whatever, I kind of thought they might leave this mode out, but I'm happy it is included. I always thought it was cool. I was one of the people that actually loved it on the G1, loved it in the cartoon, loved it. One of the Decepticons, I think it was Breakdown or Dead End, actually referenced it like a flying car. How droll. You know, and man, it was just awesome because he would just come in for a landing and keep going. Actually had aerial battle with Starscream. We don't know how well that would have went, but or should have went, but very, very cool. All right, let's get Tracks out here with the other incarnation. Here is first up is the G1 version of Tracks. Let's spin these guys around, take a quick look, see how they look side by side. Man, it's just, when I bring out a new toy, I see how much yellow my figures have. But sitting on the shelf, I'll be like, damn, I got a good condition toy. But bring out a brand new one, you can see the yellow. This is how these guys look side by side. And now for the masterpiece comparison to this guy, which to me was the ultimate cartoon looking version. But this one kind of, you can't deny the tuniness with the curvature of the hood and the windshield. So cartoon accurate. But this one is still better. One of the most underrated masterpiece toys of all. And see if we can get a shot with all three in their flight modes. Wish I had a stand for everybody to get them all up. Probably could dig up some stands, put them on the stands, but I'm not. Alright, real quick, put him back into his regular car mode so I can get him next to Jazz. Show how he looks next to a regular Generation 1 style vehicle in his car mode. We got Tracks back in his robot mode. Let's move on to the size up in the rundown. Here he is next to Generation 1 self in his bot mode. We got Wheeljack. About the same height as Wheeljack without the little backpack kibble hanging over his head. I'm going to bring out Inferno. See how these guys scale. Bring out Huffer. Maybe he's Earthrise as well. And I got one more Beachcomber. A couple different classifications to see how these guys scale. Generation 1 Optimus Prime. Netflix Optimus Prime. Earthrise Starscream. Jumping Toy Lines, the Star Wars Black Series Tarkin. Marvel Legends Carnage. Last one, G.I. Joe Classified Snake Eyes. All right, to close it out, this is a pretty cool figure. I do recommend it if you can find it. He's pretty popular right now. People are snatching him up. And I'm still not clear if the red tracks is already available, or if it's available, is it just a Target exclusive, or is it a red card exclusive? I guess I should have researched that before I started doing this review and bringing it up, but I did not. So anyway, cool figure. The only flaws to me for this figure is like a little bit of the hollowness right here, and the Masterpiece even had that. And the legs were just a little loose, not over loose, not floppy, but just loose enough to concern me. But those are the only problems I really have with this figure. I think I was a little heavy-handed in the transformation, and then the hood of the car didn't tab together that well on the sides. But other than that, he's a really cool figure, and if you can find him and you're a Trax fan, G1 fan, I suggest you pick it up. Speaking of G1, before I go, I have a little bit of trivia for you. In the Generation 1 cartoon, Trax and Grimlock appeared in the same episode only one time. Can you tell me that episode? And they were never in the same place at the same time. With that, I want to thank everybody for watching another episode of George Reviews. The reviews where every toy has a story.